If you are someone who has DIY'd your ManyChat strategy, today's video is for you. I want to make one thing abundantly clear, and that is the fact that I am a self-proclaimed DIY queen. Now, not necessarily in the context of my home, though I did repaint my kitchen cabinets and they do look fabulous, if I say so myself, but more so in a lot of areas of my business. I know when you're starting out, you don't have a lot of budget to hire a copywriter and a web designer, so you often put on a lot of those hats yourself. I've been there personally. I have done a lot of the different parts of my business all by myself. And there's something really special as a business owner, having that ownership and building out all of those different parts of your business. But that being said, when it comes to ManyChat and DIYing, there are often a lot of common mistakes that I see business owners run into. And as someone who has built hundreds, if not, I think I'm pushing 1,000 automations at this point, I have truly seen it all. So in today's video, I'm gonna walk you through the 3 most common ManyChat mistakes I see business owners or social media managers make when they are DIYing their ManyChat process and strategy. Before we get into the video, if you're new, I'm Maddie Boumet, founder of Live Like Mad, and my goal is to turn your followers into loyal clients with content and strategies that work. I put out a weekly video that has to do with marketing, social media, content, ManyChat, so if that sounds like something you're interested in, make sure you are subscribed, and you can even hit that bell icon to be notified when there's a new video. Also, if you're looking for any additional free resources or ways to dive even deeper into ManyChat, make sure to check out the description for links of how to do so. All right, let's just dive into these mistakes. Number 1, not testing the automation. I get it, you have so many things going on, and there is that feeling of, oh, I built the automation, amazing. Push, publish, set it live, like it's done, check it off the list. But it's really, really, really important to test the automation for 2 reasons. Number 1, you want to make sure that it's actually working. And let's say you're adding someone to your email list through the automation. You want to make sure that they are successfully being added to the right list. They're getting the tags you want, like the zaps are you just want to make sure it's A, set up correctly. And then the other reason for testing is you want to make sure that it is a smooth process on the user end. So go through the automation and make sure it's intuitive, it makes sense, there's no spelling errors. Sometimes I find for me, ManyChat can get a little buggy, and so there's weird spelling things that can happen. So it's just another opportunity to sort of proofread and double check your work. And you might be watching this thinking like, oh, of course, like who doesn't test their automation? But there are people out there who don't test their automation. So if you are testing your automation, congratulations, you get an A+ gold star. That is not always the case. Okay, let's get into mistake number 2. This has to do with how your trigger is set up. And I can usually tell this is happening when I see random firings of an automation. And it has to do with whether you chose message is versus message contains. So let's say I want grow to be my trigger word. Now, the goal in setting that up as my trigger word is so that I can hop on Instagram stories and say, hey, reply to this story or DM me grow, and I will send you my link for X, Y, or Z. That's the context in which I want the automation to fire. Now, if it's misfiring, it likely has to do with the fact that you selected message contains. So if the trigger is set up to be message is, that means that it is only ever going to fire when we get a DM like this, where they have solely sent the message as grow. If the trigger is set up to be message contains grow, it could fire anytime someone sends us a DM that has the word grow in the message. So if they sent us a message like this, your automation is going to fire. Now, there are ways where you might strategically and intentionally choose to have message contains. As an example, there's a business I work with where anytime someone asks them about collaboration, we want to automatically reply with an invitation to our ambassador program. So we are using message contains in that specific case, but we've made a very intentional choice and there's a strategic reason behind that. I'm gonna guess 99.9% of the other time, you really wanna make sure that your trigger is set up to be just message is. So that way it is not misfiring and people are only being sent through the automation when they've intended to do so. By the way, if you're looking for a little bit more help when it comes to ManyChat triggers, like I said before, check out the description because I have an entire free guide that you might find really helpful. Okay, the final mistake I see people make, and I'm gonna be honest, this is a little bit more of an advanced mistake. So maybe less so a mistake and more a missed opportunity, is not tagging contacts. So lately I've been teaching a few workshops and I mention like, oh, who's tagging on ManyChat? And I don't think I have ever had a business owner say like, oh yeah, I'm tagging. So if you're not tagging, no worries. A lot of people aren't, but it's a really, really great way to start collecting data right from the beginning. Now, I like to think about tagging on ManyChat in a very similar capacity to how you think about tagging on your email list. We're utilizing tagging to gain more information about the user. We want to know who they are and what are they looking for. If you're watching this, you probably fall into two camps. Either you're utilizing ManyChat and you're like, oh my gosh, I haven't been tagging all this time. Or maybe you're watching this because you're brand new to ManyChat and you're getting started. Regardless, you can start adding tags today because here's the thing, we're just getting more and more data to eventually use down the line. Even if you're not going to utilize this data right now, having it in the future and being able to look back on it and utilize it 6, 9, 12 months from now is so much more beneficial than in the future being like, oh shoot, I was watching that video and I should have actually implemented and started creating tags. So take this as your sign to start tagging now, even if you're not going to really utilize it in your automations. Now you might be watching this thinking, okay, well, what kind of tags do I give people? Like, what should I even be tagging them with? Here are some ways that I like to utilize tags. So number one, I like to tag people based on the lead magnets they have requested. I also like to tag them based on the cart or product links they've requested so I can see, oh, this is the first time they've requested something, or like, oh, they have requested this before. We can also ask them a question and based on their response, give them a persona tag. So let's say you serve two different audiences. You serve businesses who might need copywriting skills, but then you also serve copywriters where you might be teaching them in a more like educational capacity. We could ask a question like, which sounds like you? And then based on their answer, tag them as like business who needs copywriting or copywriter. And that's really helpful information to have because it can sort of alter and help us adjust how we might be talking to those two different groups down the line. And finally, if you want to get a little bit more advanced, we can utilize tags to note if they have clicked buttons or not. That gets a little bit more nuanced and it's definitely sort of like level 2 or 3 of the world of ManyChat, but it allows us to, based on whether they've clicked something or not, follow up in a specific manner. Once you've started to tag people and you have that information, what do you do with it? Well, once we've started applying tags, we can utilize the condition function in ManyChat down the line. So I can set a condition like, if they have this tag, send them this flow. If they don't have this tag, send them that flow. So very similar to your email marketing, you're going to be able to segment people and send them different messages or through different flows based on the tags they're given. If you want a little bit more insight into tags and specifically how to create tags, I have another free guide linked in the description that you can check out because it sort of walks you through all of that. So those are the 3 most common mistakes I see. Like I said, if you are DIYing, you have found the right place because my whole goal is to equip business owners with the information and strategies and tools they need to have the autonomy to really create ManyChat flows that can take their business to the next level. So make sure you're subscribed. If you want to work together because you want my brain in your business, I'm going to put my email up here. You can send me an email or there's more information in the description, and I will see you next week.